Hello everyone! In this video I will talk about 3 of the most memorable characters in Shakespeare's plays. So, our topic for today is who are the most memorable characters in Shakespeare's plays? The 3 characters I chose are Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, Lady Macbeth from Macbeth, and Viola from Twelfth Night. As regards Juliet, she is one of William Shakespeare's best-known characters. She is the young daughter of Capulet and Lady Capulet and is 13 years old. She is beautiful, innocent, and, the most important, of marriageable age. Before meeting Romeo, Juliet had thought little about marriage and love. Her parents, on the other hand, are keen to marry her to a rich and well-connected husband. They have chosen Count Paris, who has expressed interest in her, as their future husband. Whether or not Juliet is interested is not a concern to anyone but her. So, how life changes for Juliet Capulet. Like many women in Shakespeare plays, Juliet has very little freedom and is disconnected from the outside world. And she doesn't fight back against it. That begins to change, however, when she meets Romeo, since she instantly falls in love with him. This sparks a growth in maturity for Juliet, and now she's not only willing to defy her family, but she's also prepared to abandon them in order to be with Romeo. Juliet is a strong female character. At first, she appears to be a shy and innocent girl, but the depth of her character shows as she meets Romeo, defies her father, marries Romeo, and ultimately commits suicide. While appearing quiet and obedient, Juliet displays inner strength, intelligence, bravery, wit, and independence. It is in fact Juliet who asked Romeo to marry her. Juliet continues to display the notions of shyness in scenes where she speaks just as much as Romeo and with the same degree of confidence. She also shows her inner strength and independent nature in her decision to die rather than marry Paris. By doing so, she takes control of her own destiny instead of allowing her life to be controlled by others, as so many young women in her circumstances at that time would. Let's continue with Lady Macbeth. She is one of Shakespeare's most famous and frightening female characters. When we first see her, she is already plotting Duncan's murder, and she is stronger, more ruthless, and more ambitious than her husband. She seems fully aware of this and knows that she will have to push Macbeth into committing suicide. At one point, she wishes that she were not a woman so that she could do it herself. This theme of the relationship between gender and power is key to Lady Macbeth's character. Her husband implies that she is a masculine soul inhabiting a female body, which seems to link masculinity to ambition and violence. Shakespeare, however, seems to use her and the witches to undercut Macbeth's idea that undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. This crafty woman used female methods of achieving power, that is, manipulation, to further their supposedly male ambition. Women, the play implies, can be as ambitious, as cruel as men. Yet social constraints deny them the means to pursue these ambitions on their own. Lady Macbeth manipulates her husband with remarkable effectiveness, overriding all his objections. When he hesitates to murder, she repeatedly questions his manhood until he feels he must commit murder to prove himself. Lady Macbeth's remarkable strength will persist through the murder of the king. It is she who steadies her husband's nerves immediately after the crime has been perpetrated. Lady Macbeth begins a slow slide into madness. By the close of the play, she has been reduced to sleepwalking through the castle, desperately trying to wash away an invisible blood stain. She, apparently, kills herself, signaling her total inability to deal with the legacy of their crimes. The last character is Viola. She is one of Shakespeare's most delightful and beloved feminine creations from his comedies. She has no serious faults, and we can easily discount the peculiarity of her decision to dress as a man, since it sets the entire plot in motion. She is the character whose love seems the purest. Surrounded by characters who express the extremes of emotionalism and melancholy, that is, Viola is caught between Duke Orsino's extreme melancholy and Lady Olivia's aggressive emotionalism. She represents the norm behavior in this strange world of Illyria. As a shipwrecked orphan who has no one to protect her, she must resort to some means whereby her safety is assured. She knows that a single woman, unattended in a foreign land, would be in an extremely dangerous position. Consequently, she evaluates the sea captain's character, finds it suitable, and wisely places her trust in him. Then she disguises herself as a boy called Cesario, so that she will be safe and have a man's freedom to move about without protection. Consequently, she is immediately seen to be quick-witted enough to evaluate her situation, of sound enough judgment to recognize the captain's integrity, resourceful enough to conceive of the disguise, and practical enough to carry out this design. These qualities will help her obtain her position with Duke Orsino, and they are also the same qualities which caused Lady Olivia to immediately fall in love with her. For the modern audience, Viola's charm lays in her simple, straightforward, good-humoured personality. Perhaps the most surprising thing about Viola is that a young lady in possession of so many attributes falls in love with someone who is as smoothly unchangeable as the Duke. Okay, people, these are the references for my presentation. Thanks for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye bye.